Crazy thought. There is a girl right now walking around in your city, horny, waiting for you to approach her and take her on a date and have sex with her. Sounds crazy. Sounds a little bit like these Pornhub ads, but it is simple. You can get laid this week. In this video, I want to talk about how there are women in your city, in your area who are horny. They're waiting for a guy. And it's not like, women, they never want to have sex. It's quite the opposite actually. The problem is most guys just have really shit game and women are repulsed by them. If you apply the principles of what I'm about to share, you can first of all get laid and can find a buddy on the street within a week. Part 1, your mindset. You need to accept that women are sexual beings. They want to have sex. They want to sleep around even in certain phases of their life. Most guys have Madonna whore complex, which basically means they sort women into two categories, the good girls and the bad girls, which shows a very limiting understanding of female psychology. I made a big video about this, which you can click and learn more about this topic. If you have this limiting belief, well, of course, sexual women, the kind of girl that you could get laid with this week, she doesn't want to hang out with you. I recommend reading books like My Secret Garden by Nancy Friday or The Purity Myth. You need to be the fun, relaxed guy who doesn't judge her, who's open, so she can relax into you and something sexual can happen. The good thing is most guys are not like this. They are instantly judging her, putting weird pressure on her, or they're getting too clingy and needy when she does give them a little bit of sexual energy after the first time they had sex. So really important that you have an adult view on sex. You're the laid back guy, you're not judging her, and you're not going to be shocked or surprised by any crazy sexual story from her. Part 2, cold approach. You need to do this. Yes, there's different ways of meeting women. You can swipe on Tinder, you can become really rich. There's a lot of other complex ways of making it to the top of the pyramid that take decades. The beautiful thing about cold approach, you can do it today. That sounds easy, and I know it's not. I literally get paid 5 figures per week to teach guys how to approach women on the street because it is so hard. A guy doing it is facing his demons. If you overcome that fear, that social anxiety of saying hi to strangers that you might have, that is a big win and it's a huge challenge. And I love helping guys overcoming that challenge in my workshops and helping them one-on-one, live or online. I do understand just the thought of that will trigger these insecurities and issues of unworthiness. But at the other side of it, there are these women that want to get approached, that would really appreciate it. Then it kind of turns into a numbers game. If you approach 50 women this week in your city, 10 a day, totally possible. And when I say approach, I mean like actually try, stop them, look in their eyes, then the chance that you will meet a woman that wants to go on a date with you and then wants to go home with you is quite high. Believe me, I've seen it with myself, and obviously I've been focusing on that many years to acquire that skill, but I've seen it over and over on workshops. Guys who've not done a single approach in their whole life come on a workshop, they work with me one-on-one, and on day 1 or 2, they took a girl home. Not that that's the goal of the workshop in the first place. The goal is really to improve your social skills and overcome that fear and just become a solid, stable guy in that sense and have confidence to do approach when you see a hot girl. But yes, sometimes the guy gets laid on the first, second day, and it is amazing to watch. It just reminds me of, wow, women want to have sex. They're out there. They're just waiting for us to approach them. And if none of the women you approach want to go on a date with you and don't really want to give out their number or anything like that, good. You have a reality check now. You know what to work on. You know your game is probably not that good. Maybe your style is off. Maybe you even have bad breath or your hygiene says something about you that doesn't want her to interact with you furthermore. Go out there, approach women. It will be the fastest way to reality check yourself and understand what you have to work on long term. If you're watching this and deep inside I'm not gonna do it, Alex, I can't overcome that fear, or I don't know where to start, no problem. You can click below. I have an online mentoring program where I help guys overcome exactly these types of issues and I make them approach remotely or live. So book a call and we can talk about how you can become the kind of guy who does cold approach and manifests the women that he desires into his life. It's possible. I've done it hundreds of times over the last 8 years. So click below, book a consultation call. Part 3, learn how to escalate. as a man, it is very important to show your sexual desire in a calibrated way. We don't want to catcall, we don't want to scream behind girls, we don't want to send them dick pics. But as a man, it is your job to move things forward, to escalate. Consent is really important there, right? Remember, just because she shows up to a date doesn't mean she already agreed to having sex with you. If you lack a lot of experience, you can even get consent verbally or ask if this is okay. In general, it is very good habit to check in with the girl. That can be during the date, that can be during sex. But remember, as we established in part 1, women are sexual. Women want to have sex. They want you to escalate. They're waiting for it. It is your duty, after all, to move things forward. That includes not just touch and, taking her home and her. It includes holding pressure, eye contact, flirtation. All this type of stuff is foreplay. And it can also happen, again, verbally. You can talk about sexual topics. You can talk about 50 Shades of Grey. Did you read it? What did you think about it? Which female singer she thinks she's really sexy? Was she ever in love with a teacher maybe? What is the craziest place she had sex? Does she watch porn? What type of porn? Here you can enter sexual topics and kind of figure her out that way and open her up, and again gives you the chance to show, maybe she says, yeah, I had this crazy threesome, and she tells you a story and you're like, wow, that's really cool, that's sexy. It gives you the opportunity to make her open up and to see, oh, this guy's different, he's not judging me, I can be myself with him. Finally, I can let out my slutty self, which in return is obviously good for you. If you're in a phase in your life where you want to have more sexual experience, you want to sleep around a bit, you want to try stuff out because you don't know yet what's cool, what's not, what you're into, what not. You're not ready for a monogamous relationship or getting married or having children. It is good if you have the ability to make a girl open up and be her slutty self with you. And finally, part 4, you wanna create an opportunity to take her home. Practically speaking, this should be the goal. If your goal is to get laid, well, eventually you have to take her home. But also keep in mind, you need to understand the female side, her psychology. Most girls who agree to come on a date with you, they're not planning ahead 5 hours. They don't say, yes, I'll have a coffee with you, and then they also automatically know, I'll probably have sex with him. They are taking things minute by minute. You have to understand that. She might be even really horny in the 1 minute and make out with you and touch it under the table and then say, oh, I need to go home, I want to have a taxi. And that's totally fine. It's her right to do so, and it will happen to you. It happened many times to me. It was a bit confusing at the beginning, but now I understand. Women are emotional, and again, just because she seems sexy and makes out with you in an alleyway or you finger her under the table, anything like that, doesn't mean she also automatically is going to have sex with you. Obviously, taking her home is also a bit of an art form in itself. She doesn't just want to verbally agree or confirm to a thing like, okay, let's get out of here and have sex at home. It takes out all the romance, the intrigue. She still wants to kind of be seduced, and maybe she arrives at home and she just changes her mind. She's like, I don't want to have sex anymore, or she remembered she's on her period, or her ex-boyfriend just texted her as she was in the elevator going up to your place and now she feels weirded out. Anything can happen any minute, and you have to be open for that and not be reactive or salty about that. A great way to take a girl home is create some excuse. Again, we want to think, how can we make it as easy for her as possible to say yes? That can be, hey, let's have a tea, let's warm up, and then I'll call you an Uber. So you offering her something with the end in mind, and the end in mind is not having sex. Or you say, I really want to show you this YouTube channel that inspired me. After that, I have some work to do anyway. So you're basically telling her, I only got 20 more minutes. I want to spend them with you. I want to show you something, but then you need to go. So that also shows her, oh, this guy doesn't need to have sex. Not that that's a bad thing, but remember, what is her dating experience? Most guys don't care at all about her. They quickly want to go on a date and then take her home as soon as possible without investing in her at all, without really checking all the boxes of how she feels, just to get their. It's just not a romantic love story. Even if she's sexual, even if she's naughty and horny and wants to try things out, she's still a girl. She still wants to be seduced. She still needs foreplay. Her sexuality works different than ours, where we just want to move up and get it wet quickly. Keep that in mind, please. Also, on the topic of don't get salty, you might go for the kiss, she might reject it, she might turn away. Fine, all good, she's figuring you out. Don't take it as a personal offense. All she's saying is, I'm not comfortable with this right now, maybe later. Remember, she still showed up at the date, and if you don't totally up, she's still happily there, but don't get salty of you making a move and it not being received 10 out of 10 positive right away. And remember, if you're in a situation where you're on a date, you maybe made out a little bit and then she doesn't go home with you, or then she excuses herself. In that moment, you might think, oh man, I didn't get what I wanted. But also remember, you approached the girl, you got her number, you texted her well. You can use my 60-page texting guide, by the way. You got her out on a date, you kissed her, and that last final step, you didn't succeed. So it's so easy for us to instantly get angry at us or think we're losers or have our own insecurities coming back to the surface by reaching a tiny rejection after a lot of wins. So keep that in mind. You are doing great. If you are the guy who already approaches and sometimes gets some yeses, whatever it is, you're already doing better than 90% of men. In summary, accept women are sexual, go approach some, take them on dates, and then take them home. It really is as simple as that, but not easy. So if you need help, if you especially need accountability, click below, join the Social Academy, join dozens of men who also work on their dating life, their charisma, their lifestyle, their body, their fitness, their health. Join, chat with us, watch the 4 modules in the Social Academy. It's all one big package. The texting guide is included as well. And let me know what you think about this topic, and I'll see you in the next video.